Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So behind me here I have two KitchenAid mixers. One of them was given to me by a neighbor, the other one I found. So they are out there on curbside and they are 100% scrappable and very heavy. There is a lot of zinc cast, there's going to be a copper motor inside, a nice appliance wire. Sometimes they do have the nice non-magnetic stainless steel bowl that comes with them. These two unfortunately did not, but no matter, what I want to do is take them apart, show you how to separate it properly, identify the materials, and more importantly, maximize your profit and divert both of these away from the landfill. So here we go, just gonna do the red one here. I am gonna look at this cord just to show it to you. I will go further inside. This one had its cord cut off, but this cord here gonna give me at a scrapyard what we classify as 40% appliance wire. You can see inside of it 3 strands of coated wire. It has the outer coating on it, so this is gonna have higher plastic, less copper ratio. But currently right now in London, Ontario, this is going for $1.50 a pound. This is very light actually. I think this is actually an older model. Some of the newer ones do have a thicker cord, but regardless, $1.50 a pound for this, not gonna complain. It also has on the end there 3 brass prongs. Some people leave those on for the weight. I pull them off, put them into my brass. Currently brass right now going for $3.17 a pound. And it doesn't matter if it's yellow brass or coated brass, it's all the same pile. So a nice 40% appliance wire here. Gonna move this one off, gonna look at this one. Very simple, just a few screws on the side here that I need to unscrew. And as mentioned, this base here is actually, you can see, non-magnetic. If I pick it up, the head is where the motor is, but inside you can see, and this casing is zinc cast. Currently right now in London, Ontario, it is going for 45 cents a pound. So I will include in my comment section the full breakdown of weights. Not sure exactly how much of this is going to be from the motor, but it is very heavy. Just gonna turn it over. Again, a couple screws on the bottom. I'm hoping this will remove this casing here, but I also want to make sure that I check the screws to see if they are magnetic or not. They are, so these are actually going to be going into my tin. Get 16 cents a pound for these. This one was not given to me by my neighbor, so I can mention that it wasn't cleaned very well. There was some icing or batter that was caked in the screws here. So that's okay to talk about this one. I promised my neighbor I won't talk about that one. That's why I'm not taking it apart. But they are both made the same. Just looking for the screw. There's a screw on the back here as well. Hoping this is one entrance point. It's going to be right there. This is going to start coming off. Okay. And this is where the motor is going to be, right at the top. And we have a KitchenAid mixer here at home. I love this thing. It does so much. Not just cake. My kids love their milkshakes, and we are able to do milkshakes with that too. But again, this as well. This is zinc cast. It's just painted, so 45 cents a pound for that. Here is my motor. Just going to quickly unscrew. There is a cylinder here that's going to run all the way through. And it may take me a little bit to open this. Not sure exactly how I'm going to get at it. I think from opening that screw, it should hopefully release it. But again, this is not something I get often. I do have a couple of them. I wish I found more because, as mentioned, 100% scrappable. But interesting items that you're going to get. And another thing while I'm on the topic, I have had a couple questions from beginner scrappers asking me, where do I get all my stuff? Sometimes it's just word of mouth. Neighbors know that I scrap. They want to get rid of their items, so easy just to come down and give it to me. I know my wife doesn't appreciate that. It's too much, but it's you know, it's worth a little bit of money, and I'm glad to see the stuff get diverted from the landfill. But here is a control panel that I want to look at. little bit of copper on here that you see. There is some brass here as well, plug ends. And just looking at this, if I turn this, what's interesting, there is right there a contact switch. So that little dot there is going to have some silver on it. This right here is all going to be number 2 copper, but there as well on that side there is a contact. So lots of little pieces of silver, just like your relay boxes. Okay, so that's a contact switch that has a little bit of silver. Okay, inside again here is a couple motors that I have, or sorry, a couple more screws, not motors. There's a little bit of brass I see. Hoping this will remove the cover. And what? Let's see if I can just put on my safety glasses and pry this up. Hopefully this maybe releases it. I'm not sure. There's going to be a couple screws on there. This could absolutely, could potentially just need a little bit of opening here. Trying to figure this out. Gonna hit it with a hammer actually. See if that works. Loosen it up. Okay, this is on there. So just going to see if this is, there's another piece taken off. Sometimes just releasing the tension on there. So this is going to go all the way through, but this does look like it's sealed, but I am not going to give up on this. I'm hoping these 2 screws I'm going to have to get to, because I think that is what's holding it in, but trying to get at them is another story. Oh, there we go. It does just slide out. There we go. So that was easy. It is loosened now. Pulling this out, hopefully. Put in a screwdriver. Sometimes that's what I like most about scrapping, is trying to figure out how things are put together. There we go. All right, there is the motor inside. I can see it. It is coming. There is a couple more little connectors. Just gonna have to unscrew that. Get a long pair of needle nose pliers that I have, or there we go. These are huge screws. So there is a copper motor in there. Persistence pays off. Okay, but it is going to take me a couple seconds to unscrew, because this is, as mentioned, a long, long bolt. And I'm imagining that this, once removed, this is going to just slide out. There's a wire that I have to try and get around. There we go. This fan is just trying to get a hold on it. Okay, so there we go. And that is actually just going to be an armature that is on there. There we go. I'm getting this motor now. So it's just getting the last couple screws. It's going to hopefully slide out in a second. But this motor is getting looser. I can feel it. And this is going to be a nice little motor. So I'm just going to put a pry bar in there now. Hopefully I'm feeding this through. Okay. Get the rest of the screw. This is kind of getting flimsy now, and that's because I am starting to get a little impatient. But there we go. So again, a couple little pieces here. There are going to be a couple wires, and I'm hoping if I just release this, there is something that's connecting it. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So hopefully this is going to pull out my armature. So again, a lot of standing around trying to get these little screws out. This is pretty stubborn, this thing. But it looks to me like this is going to be the way this comes out. One. Getting this last one. There it is. I'm hoping this is worth the wait. Like I said, the copper bearing motor. This better be copper. But is there another one somewhere? Connected somehow. Oh, I wish I had a manual for this. I sure probably could, but there we go. Slow and steady. It's coming now. Whew. Just going to rip this little motor piece off. And I think what I'm going to do is just to speed it up, I'm going to use my grinder and just grind this head off there. Because once I pull this little fin off, it will slide the motor through. So I'm just going to do that. Once I plug it in. Sorry, I could have edited a couple minutes, but this is your live feed and showing you persistence. So there we go. So pulling this off now. So there's a little bit more tin. Here is my armature and my motor that I'm coming out with right now. There it is. So whew, there is that stubborn motor. So nice bit of number 2 copper there. There is an armature. That armature is stuck in there, so I am going to have to somehow feed it through there. But there it is right there. Those armatures are worth scrap value. Just to show you one, just like this. Okay, but here is my money maker for sure. I do want to scratch this to see if it is copper. You can see that is copper. So this is number 2 copper. I could bring this in as is and get copper bearing motor price. It's about 25 to 30 cents a pound. But because that's number 2 copper, that's $4.30 a pound. And the nice thing is once I remove that copper, still going to get the 16 cents a pound for this tin. So I want to make sure I get that scrap copper because it is our scrapper's gold. There is going to be a little bit of work. Just see, last thing, if I can just punch this out. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen. But either way, I've got that motor out. Okay, I am going to have to do a little bit of figuring out. I'm sure it's going to be one screw somewhere that I can't find. But that is really what's in a kitchen-made mixer. You know, if I can't get that armature out, I may even just bring this in and get, you know, dirty copper price for this. The head, I could always grind it. But again, oh, there is a couple bolts in here. So there they are, right there on the bottom. Maybe I just didn't pull them all the way out. So there is right here 2 screws that I haven't got yet. That would make more sense, you know, using or getting all of the screws before trying to pound away at it. So I apologize for that, but you know, that's part of the scrapper experience, I guess, not knowing exactly where all the components are. And I have had a couple people say, can you put stuff back together? No, I'm great at taking things apart, but don't ask me to put it back together. So hopefully this is going to open now. Okay, I may have to hit this with a hammer again, but there we go. Woo! There's my armature. So the rest of this, just going to throw it right in, get die cast price for this. Gonna give the final weights at the end. I apologize for that little hiccup there, but again, sometimes items can be stubborn. You gotta make sure you find those screws. But now that I know where those screws are, this one is gonna be a lot easier to do. But kitchen-made mixers, all zinc cast body, beautiful copper motor, some appliance wire. Sometimes you will get that nice non-magnetic or non-magnetic stainless steel bowl. as well as the appliance wire. So hope you enjoyed that. Please comment down below. I'm looking forward to the comments from people with, probably seeing the beginning of this, watching, probably commenting, hey, I know where the bolt is, but look forward to working with this community. Love the feedback and comments, as well as making a difference, not only monetarily for future scrappers, but also environmentally, being able to divert both of these right out of the landfill. So thank you again for watching. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.